Hey, my name is Kendra. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I want to share with you guys a near-death experience that I had. So, what led up to my near-death experience was I used to smoke weed heavily, and so I was in New York City at the time. I was living in Brooklyn. And so the guy that I normally used to buy my stuff from was completely out. So he was like, yo, I got this homeboy. He up in the Bronx. You can go to the Bronx and you can get what you need. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just hop on the A train, go up and get what I needed or whatever. And so that's what I done. Got to the store, got what I needed, and he was like, this stuff is really strong. It's extremely strong, so be careful. But me, I'm like, you know what? I'm a fucking professional. You know, I'm good at this strong shit. I've never had nothing that was that strong. So I started smoking it on my way back to get on the train because I'm like, oh, well, I got a nice little ride back from the Bronx back down to Brooklyn. It's going to take me at least an hour more. So let me just go ahead and smoke and I'll be fine. So I went ahead and started smoking on the way to the train. So as soon as I got on the train, my heart started like racing extremely fast. Like extremely fast. And I just had this urge, like, I need to sit down. But there was nowhere to sit because all the seats were taken. So I was standing. If you could picture the subway in New York, if you've ever rode the train. If you've ever rode the train in New York, then you know if there's no seats, then you stand up and you hold onto that little bar or whatever you want to call it, that pole. It looks like a stripper pole. So yeah, I'm holding on to it and I'm just praying to myself like, oh my gosh, if I don't sit down, I know I'm just gonna pass out or something. I just can't take it anymore. I just had that feeling like, oh my gosh, this is it. And my heart was just racing incredibly fast. The next thing I remember was I felt a big thump in my chest. And then the next thing I remember, I was in this black space. I had totally forgot about the train. It was completely quiet. It was so peaceful. It was, I can't really describe it to you. It just was like a sigh of relief. And I remember the very first thing that I said to myself was, once I got to this space, oh my gosh. Oh my God, I've died. I know, am I dead? Oh my God, I really don't have to work anymore. It was so cool, man. It was just like, I'm dead. I don't have to work anymore. I'm gonna stay here forever, and that is it. Oh my gosh, thank you. I don't have to work anymore. And so with that, I was just like soaking it all in. I'm like, yes, it's over with. I ain't gotta do that no more. And then the next thing I remember, I heard in the background, she doesn't have a pulse. Does anybody know CPR? And I'm like, that's strange, because I don't see anybody, but I'm like, I'm here. What do you mean there's no pulse or anything? And so the next thing I remember, I'm in this peaceful space, and then I just remember feeling like a tug or a pull or something. And I remember coming back into my body. It was like the moment that I was coming back in, it almost felt like when you go into it, it's like you can still almost feel your energy that you could just kind of like let go, and you're back in that space. I can't really explain it to you. And so when I was coming back into my body, they were picking me up off of the ground. Now, mind you, I don't remember ever hitting the ground. I don't remember nobody doing CPR. I don't remember anybody doing any of that on me. I just remember coming back into my body as they were trying to lift me up. And then after they tried to lift me up, I went back out. I went back to this blank space again, this black space. And once I got back to this black space, it was like I want to stay here forever. I don't want to go back. Don't revive me. Let me stay here. This is peaceful. I want to stay here. I want to live here forever. Forget earth, forget people, forget everything. But then I had this feeling like, wait a minute, I need to let my mother know just one last time where I am before I stay here forever. Because I know she's going to be worried. Just let my mom know. And then I'll come back here and then I could just stay here forever. Well, the moment that I had that thought of, let my mom know, I instantly came back into my body. And once I came back into my body, they had me sitting on this small little, so if you picture the train in New York, if you go to the very, very, very corner, there's like a little small 2-seater seat. So they had me sitting on that. And so when I was sitting on that, when I came back into my body, it was like, what did you do? It was like, what did you guys do? I wanted to stay where I was. Why would you do that? Like, why would you bring me back here? I didn't want to work anymore. I didn't want to do any of that. I was completely fine where I was. But while I was in that space, I didn't see any family members. I didn't see any lights. I didn't hear any voices. It was just me. And it was almost like if you could picture outer space, but take away all of the stars and the planets and whatever else is out there. It was just a big, black, empty space. And I was just in existence. I didn't have a body. I didn't have none of that. It was just me. But I was still myself. I was still completely conscious. I was aware. I knew that I was Kendra. And for a brief second, it was almost like I totally forgot about everything on a train. I forgot about all of that. It was just like, yo, this space is like really cool. I could stay here forever. It was the most peaceful thing ever. And so after that, it was like, I started researching so many different things because I needed an explanation. Like, what was this space? I had never went through anything like this before. So I was like, what is this? Where did I go? And so after I started doing research, I started finding out it was called a near-death experience. And so I started researching all the videos, and sure enough, what happened to me happened to like so many other people, but I never knew about it. And so I started going down this rabbit hole of watching all of these different videos and stuff like that, because I'm like, it was just so fascinating, until a person actually has a near-death experience, they really won't understand that feeling. You could tell a person 1,000,000 times a story, but until they actually experience it, they'll never have the emotion, the feeling behind that. So that was my near-death experience. Did it change me any type of way? Honestly, it made me a lot more depressed, because it was like, I wanted to get back to that space so bad that I was willing to do anything to myself to get back there. And that's not always a good thing. So yeah, like, I don't really have anybody that I can really talk to about it, because nobody can really relate to it. So it's like, if I tell a normal person that, they're just really going to just like dismiss it because they've never experienced it. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that was my near-death experience. Yeah, if you want to ask me anything else, I mean, you can always ask me. What I don't know what else to say about it. It was so cool. It was the dopest thing ever. So, am I fearful of death now? No, I'm not really scared of dying now. The only thing that really scares me about dying is what's going to happen to my pets. Because, I'm a pet lover. I have pets. So, for me, I'm fine with moving on to the next thing, because I know it's not the end. It's just I want to know that my animals are taken care of, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that was my near-death experience. I hope you guys enjoy it. So, till again, I'm Kendra.